Summer solstice is just around the corner. I love this day, this energy. I also love the winter solstice. So these markers, the longest day of the year, the shortest day of the year, these are some of my favorite energies to tap into. I think that they are these beautiful markers of the tipping point of the year for us. And they remind us of the rhythm that we all go through when it comes to setting a new intention, putting a new plan into motion, and then creating that life and then letting go of expectation, letting go of the reins and letting everything fall as it will, doing the shadow work. And the solstices are here to remind us of that rhythm. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the summer solstice. I'll give you some ideas for celebrating and onward and upward. Here we go. If the word witch makes you feel full of power and excitement, if you love personal development but loathe boring love and light conversation, if a sexy combo of witchery and inner work piques your interest, you're in the right place. Welcome home, Magic Maker, and welcome to Expedition to Soul, the podcast brought to you by the Sisters Enchanted. Welcome back to Expedition to Soul, the podcast. Summer solstice. So summer solstice is right around the corner if you're listening to this in real time. It happens around June 21st. Typically, this year it is happening on June 20th. And actually, if you're listening to this again in real time, we have a full moon the next day on June 21st. So this is a pretty exciting week. We've got Juneteenth, and then we've got the summer solstice, and then we've got the full moon in Capricorn. So it's like energy after energy after energy happening, and I'm here for it. So summer solstice, it is the longest day of the year, the shortest night, the longest day, also known as Midsummer. So you may have seen that we have a free event starting soon called Midsummer Mayhem, and it is a summer solstice event to help you reignite the fire within you, step into your power, and claim the rest of the year for yourself, because you only have one life, y'all, and it is your birthright to make this one feel like magic. So if you have not signed up yet for Midsummer Mayhem, be sure to do that. And we are actually going to do a summer solstice ritual during Midsummer Mayhem on the solstice. So that'll be really fun and exciting, and you'll be able to participate or just watch. Whatever you want to do, whatever your comfort level is, we're here for you to participate and grow and learn and have a great magical time. So the longest day of the year comes in June, and then every day after that, the days get shorter, which is so interesting to me because this is our first day of summer. The summer solstice technically is the first day of summer. And then from then on, though, the days just get shorter. And then we reach the first day of autumn, which is the equinox, where we have equal light, equal dark in the day. And then from there, the days really get shorter until we have the shortest day of the year. And then it goes the opposite, where the days get longer. In the spring, we have equal light and dark again until we have tipped the scales to move fully into summer. So this is the longest day of the year, the shortest night, as I said. And when we think of the wheel of the year and the rhythms, the energy of the wheel of the year, here at TSE, we align the summer energy with the energy of shadow work, which surprises people when they first hear it. But hear me out. I think it makes I know it makes a lot of sense. That's why we teach it that way. But when we look at the wheel of the year, there's 8 spokes on the wheel of the year. There's also 8 moon phases in a lunar cycle. And we can align the lunar cycle phases to the wheel of the year. So the shortest day of the year, winter solstice, is aligned with the new moon energy. It's when the sky is darkest. So when we plant seeds of the new year in our plans, our goals, all of that. Well, when we get halfway through the year and we reach the summer solstice in June, This is the brightest day of the year, just like the full moon is bright in the sky. And it's coincidental that this year that they sit next to each other, the solstice and then the full moon. So I am loving this illuminated energy for us, this shadow work energy, because with the full moon and with the summer solstice, this is where we release. It's where we release to create. We release to make space. It's where we do our shadow work. Where are we holding ourselves back? What do we need to see and witness? The illumination, the light shows us our shadow. Now, just on an emotional, sort of cognitive level, we don't want to be doing shadow work, this like deep dive into how we are and who we are and personal awareness. In the winter, because so many of us can feel bogged down by winter energies. Like we can't get outside and be supported by nature and get that sunshine that makes us feel better in our mind and in our bodies. For some people that doesn't apply, but for a lot of people it does. So shadow work is best suited to be done in the light of the summer, when we have that joy, when we have that energy of the sun to power us up, supercharge us, and we're able to get outside and release the pent up energy that can come with doing self-reflective growth type of work. So at the summer solstice and the summer in general, this is where we're doing our shadow work. This is also where we are releasing so we can create. What does that mean? We hear a lot about releasing at the full moon, but why do you release? I love to talk about if you clear a shelf or a closet in your home, but you don't put something else there. If you don't dedicate that space to something, what happens? It gets filled with junk again. It gets filled with clutter all over again. But if you have a clear purpose for the space that you've cleared, then you put that thing on the space and it does not get filled with whatever somebody brings in and drops. My kitchen table is like this. It's like people just drop. By people, I mean me. I mean my children. It's not my husband, it's me and my children. But we clear off the kitchen table, make it nice, and then we fill it with stuff again, right? But if we sit down and we eat at the table, we put our plates on it, now we're using it for its intended purpose. We filled it with that. So what is it that you are clearing away? What needs to be cleared away so that you have space to grow into the next version of you, or the next version of your dream, your desire? An example of this would be a person who maybe has a health goal, and what they need to clear away is the version of them who self-soothes through food, the version of them who self-soothes by eating snacks instead of something else, like reading a book or dancing or taking a calming bath, something else. Or a person who maybe has a goal to get promoted at work. Maybe they, have been with the company for 10 years and they're like, now is the time. I'm going to get the promotion. I'm going to get the raise. I'm going to apply for the job. I'm going to speak up. I'm going to do the interview. It's going to be amazing. But what needs to go? Maybe their old way of showing up at work. Maybe they engage with coworkers who really are not helping them rise up. Maybe they're afraid to talk to a superior at lunch or something, or like have a lunch meeting with some person. They, just don't have the confidence to set that date up and sit and talk to them. And so what has to go in that case is the version of them that's just doing the thing that's comfortable, doing the thing they've always done. So they need to clear that away to make space for the version of them that networks and talks to people and refreshes their resume. So whenever you want to bring something new into your life, something has to go, because you don't have infinite energetic capacity. We want to think that we can have infinite energetic capacity, but we just don't. So if you want to be, grow in a relationship, or you want to be the kind of person who does X, Y, and Z, well, the version of you who is not that person, the version of you who makes decisions that don't get you there, has to cease or has to shift and transform into whatever the next thing is that you want to be. So the summer solstice is a beautiful time to have a ritual, to connect to that energy. And it's so powerful this year that we have the Capricorn full moon right on the heels of the solstice, because we've got this 2-day like energy bubble of release, shadow work, making space, and that transformation energy. Now, with the summer solstice, there's all this growthy work that I just talked about here that we can do. And we have that solstice energy for the whole summer. So it's a 3-month period. But from about June 20th, 21st until about August 1st, then we're really in that solstice sort of shadow work, release to create energy seasonally. And then we hit our first of the 3 harvest festivals come August, which is where we are reaping the benefits of all the work that we've done so far this year. But we can also do beautiful, magical, witchy solstice type things at the solstice. And you can create your solstice sacred space, do a blessing or ritual for the bees. The bees bring pollinate so that we have food, we have vegetables, and everything eats and stays alive here on planet Earth. And bees are a summer energy and a very fairy kind of energy. And the summer solstice and in spring, Beltane as well are these kind of fairy energy seasons. So we can tap into that. Play, inner child work, getting outside and playing, putting on a playful outfit, playing in the sand at the beach, or playing in the backyard, playing with Play-Doh or clay and making some magical tools, coloring a mandala, making a nature mandala, making a candle, dressing or decorating a candle. Inner child work and playing is part of a shadow work experience. It's part of healing the pieces of you that are constricting your energy and your chakras and keeping you feeling mucky and stuck and guilty and like you have to apologize for everything. And like every time you do anything, you need to apologize for it. And doing inner child work at the solstice is beautiful, getting that playful energy going to heal those parts of you that need healing and loving on so that you can enjoy the rest of the year and step back into your power as a grown woman who is worthy of joy and passion and love and desire and lust and magic and all the things. Associations for the summer solstice would include anything yellow, orange, fiery sort of colors. The summer solstice is aligned with the element of fire, the direction of south. If you know your expansion archetype, if you're part of our holistic witchery program, or you've taken the expansion archetypes assessment that we offer, this is the energy aligned with the adventurer, which is where we heal that inner child because the adventurer wants to people please. The adventurer wants to not be left out, will kind of just say yes to opportunities or helping people, really like people pleasing and not doing a gut check to say, well, what do I want? And pausing before reacting. So this is all that energy of the summer. We also have Cancer season that starts right with the solstice. So we transition from Gemini to Cancer. And the summer season also includes the transition to Leo. So we have this Cancer energy, which is very nurturing. It's aligned with the moon and water. But Cancer likes to be cozy and can also have a lot of emotion to it, and can get pinchy like a crab sometimes. And so that Cancer energy is what we carry with the solstice season as well. And I think that the shadow work that we do here also helps us to see where we retreat, where we hide out, where we don't stand in our power. Think of a crab who retreats into its shell versus one who pinches and like takes up its space and gets its food and doesn't go down easy. It doesn't just go in and hide out. So that aligns too with that energy of shadow work and taking up space and making space for yourself. And so does that Leo energy for sure. I mean, Leo season is very summery in its embodiment of like light and big energy and see me, look at me sort of energy. When you create your sacred space, elements that reflect the sun, that look like the sun. So yellow, even in a depiction of the sun could be beautiful. Fresh flowers, anything summery, anything that feels summery to you is going to be beautiful. Sun deity, if you love mythology or you like working with gods and goddesses, any kind of folklore, fairy stories, anything about the longest day of the year, the return of the light. If you are familiar with the story, if you've seen the Disney movie Moana, well, the story of Maui is a Polynesian mythological story. And so there is the story of Maui catching the sun and bringing it to earth for people. So lots of stories like that that are relevant for the shortest day of the year and the solstice for when we return of the sun, like the story about Maui is he's catching the sun to bring light because their light's not there. But anything solar like that to reflect on the sun. I think we bucket things like, oh, well, that's only for the winter solstice. It's only for the summer solstice. But you want to connect to the energy of the sun, the story of the sun. So any sun stories, any sun deity is going to work here for the summer solstice. Of course, just get outside, connect with nature. Your solar plexus, that is your chakra, your personal sun chakra, your confidence center. It's right under your rib cage. I love to take this visualization practice of imagining my solar plexus as a sun radiating out, taking up space, and like filling the room around me with solar energy, like my confidence, my energy, just filling the space around me. And it's a visualization that I practice very often. So I encourage you to give that a try. It's one of my favorite ways to connect to solar energy, harness it, and spread it out around me. In our weekly newsletter, our Stay Magic newsletter, we do have tips for you on the solar, it's not the solar plexus on the summer solstice. And those will be in the June 16th issue, 2024 of the weekly Stay Magic magazine. And you will also have in there a ritual for the Capricorn full moon that's coming up. So this podcast episode will release on Thursday, and on Sunday we'll send out the Stay Magic. So if you're listening to this when it comes out, be sure to keep your eyes on your inbox because you'll have that coming your way with tips on the summer solstice and also that Capricorn full moon, a ritual for you in there. All right then. Well, I hope that you feel like you have the power to celebrate the summer solstice like a witchy, powerful woman. Tap into the power of the sun. How many times can I say power in a couple sentences? Create your sacred space. Think about what needs to be let go of so that you can embody the power of your future, the vision of your future. Inner child work, playful, get outside in nature, honor the bees, make fairy houses, cook over a fire, all of this fun stuff that we can do. And if you want to dive further into transformation energy, into harnessing your inner power, reigniting the fire within you this summer, be sure to join us in the free Midsummer Mayhem event that is starting very soon, June 17th. It's a 4-day free online event. And we'll be doing a group summer solstice ritual during that time as well. All right, y'all. Well, happy solstice, midsummer blessings to everybody. Thank you for being here, a part of our TSE family. And until next time, I hope that you have an enchanted rest of your day ahead. If you love the podcast, be sure to leave us a rating or a review. That helps us to get the word out about all we're doing here at the Sisters Enchanted. Thanks for being part of our community, and we'll see you in the next episode.